Hey there, Trekkers and Trekkies. So this is a third and basically the final. I'll probably do other videos kind of like this in the future, but this is essentially the final part of the series of videos I'm doing, where I'm showing how I make parts for the custom action figures that I do. Showed you how I make a resin, or a silicone mold, kind of like beep boop, like that. And I showed you how I make them shrink, which I've got one right here that I'm shrinking right now. In fact, probably another day or two and this one will be ready. This is actually from this is the second shrink from the previous video. So maybe I'll actually go ahead and at the end of this video I'll show you how that one's turned out. But today I'm going to show you how I grow, how I make a mold and make it get bigger. So let us flip over. So here is the head from the 3 3/4 inch Soleil figure from the Next Generation. Back in the 80s, there was a line of the 3 3/4 inch figures that came out for Next Generation figures, and several of the alien characters they never made in the Playmates scale. Well, I have taken, I know it's going to be hard to get the detail look, but you can see I have made this head significantly larger, and I want to do the same thing now with this guy. This is an Antican. It's actually from the same episode from season 1. I want to make both his head and the hands larger. So I'm going to take, I've already done this off screen. Magic. I have made a mold of the head and of the hands of just the glove part here. Because they have the 3 fingers thing. I especially want to make sure that I get that on the larger figure that I make. So I have made that into this mold. See, there's the head and the 2 hands. And what I'm going to do, let's get you out of the way because I don't want you getting... this is actually a really cool jar. It's intended for putting things like pickles in, that you would take and you would pour your whole jar of pickles in here, and then you can lift this basket out and get your pickles and then drop them back into the vinegar solution. Let me go ahead and get that out. And what I'm going to be doing, we're going to drop this guy in there, and I've actually got another one. Got 2 molds that I want to grow. And we're going to put odorless mineral spirits. I got to add some more. And I always make sure and give it a good shake, just because. So, get this back up to about halfway. And for growing, the brand doesn't really seem to matter. I like this clean strip stuff because it's fairly cheap, good for the environment. So I'm going to drop those in, make sure that they are beneath the surface. It is 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I'm recording this part of the video. I want to give these 24 hours. So I am going to make a note. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get this lid to go on. There it goes. The little bucket thing's not wanting to set inside. I think because I've used this bucket so often that the outer thing is starting to shrink, because it is getting harder and harder to get this inner bucket to go down. There we go. Good and sealed. So, like I said, 2 o'clock now. 2 o'clock on a Thursday. So I'm going to make a reminder at 2 o'clock tomorrow on Friday to pop this open, get those out, and they will have gotten much, much larger. In fact, I will try and remember that one I used this little cup for, and I'll be able to show you how much larger than the cup it is. The other one I used a paper cup to make, and I had to tear it in order to get it out. So I can't show you the results with that one. But that's going to be it for right this minute. For you, it'll be blink of an eye. I'll see you again in 24 hours. Okay, welcome back. It has been nearly 24 hours. It's 1:43 in the afternoon of the next day. So we are going to pop these out. As you can see, I have a towel down because obviously this is going to get a little damp. Oh. And this is what I was talking about. This is been, well, that's, some pliers just don't. Okay. So here, gotta reach in here and try and get a hold of it. There. Oh, nearly. Oh, I guess I'm going in. Oh, it's slimy and wonderful. Okay, and then the other one. Oh, so wonderfully slimy. Okay. Now, we do have some work time allowance here on this. These aren't going to immediately shrink up on us or anything like that. We've got a few minutes. I'm going to set that out of the way. Shouldn't need these anymore. I'm going to take a second to dry my hand off because now I've got that wonderfully silicone-y. Well, that didn't help much. Now I've got all over my hands again. Okay. Let's get these wiped off. But I told you I would show you the cup that this one was made in compared to it. Okay, now the outside of that one's dry. Let's get this one. But again, this is even less predictable on how much the size is going to be compared to when you shrink it. Because when you shrink it, you can get a pretty good estimation. With growing them, it's a guesswork completely. So, this is the container that was in. You can see it's significantly larger now. I'm going to take and put a rubber band around this because it had a little bit of a seam on there. Oop. Stay on. Get that all lined back out. Okay. Alright, I think we are good to start mixing some resin. Now, of course, I don't currently have a clue, and I guess I should. I don't want to get resin on my towel. I don't have a clue what the internal volume of these is. I could take time to measure it, put some water in, measure how much water comes out, blah, blah, blah. But it's more fun to just guess. And besides, remember what I told you, I've got my spare mold right there. So I can pour any excess off in there. I am going to do, let's do 20 milliliters of each. Or should I just do 10? Oh. Sorry, I don't have enough light over here. Oh, okay. Well, I poured the 20. It's exactly on the 20 milliliter line. So, that's what we're doing. Oh well. Because I couldn't see my line. Alright, so this one's going to go to the 40 milliliter line. And... okay. Get you two out of the way. Give you a good mix. I want to start with smaller holes. This one should be real easy to pour into. So, there we go. Well, yeah, I've made about twice as much as I should have. Oh well, I will pour that excess off over here. And here I will get this towel moved. That way we can do the real-time watch of these setting up, because I think that's always fun to do. Because this is the quick set resin. And keep in mind, because I did have to split this one, I do want to keep an eye on it. If that resin level starts to drop, I need to try and transfer some out of one of these into it. To make sure it's full. But looks like we're doing pretty good. So, any minute now, we should start seeing some of these start to kick and turn white. But I got a lot in that one. Let's see if we can skim that off a little bit. There we go. So now I know that I only need probably about 10 milliliters for each of them. So next time, if I wanted to do both of these, I could do 20 milliliters total, 10 each, and it would fill them, because like I said, I made 40. I'm trying to think, because I never did of the small sized head. I'm trying to think if I poured that and how much that was by comparison when I made that one. And I don't remember. It might have only been about 5 or 6 milliliters or so. But oh, look, it's starting to change color. Like I said, this is the cool part, and it's why I don't mind doing this video in real time. because you get to see that. But I am going to just let this run for a minute and let you watch it. Okay. Did you experience a time warp? I think I did, because I jumped. So, let's take a look. Let's get these out of the mold. There's still going to be a little bit of the thinner will still be in here. Gonna need this guy again, because my fingers can't get a grip on it. Okay. There we go. Oh, goodness. I need to redo that. I think I rushed the resin. Yeah, the hands look good. See, these are the hands from the other figure. See if I can get a hold of that. Uh-oh. Well, one of them just snapped off inside, which is fine. I'm going to redo this because that did not come out real. It's all bumpy. But let me show you the size comparison. It is significantly larger. So, I think that turned out pretty good. I'm going to redo it, and we'll revisit this at the end. Okay, so here it is. This is the final head. Oop, if I can get my hands. I did throw a coat of paint on it so you could actually see some of the details a little better. Otherwise, the white, it just doesn't show up on camera. But you can see there, compared to the original, it's about 25-ish percent, 30% larger. And here is the Soleil figure that I have already finished making. You've probably already seen this posted on my social media, Facebook and stuff. Where I did the exact same process I told you about, where I grew the head to be larger. So yeah, that is how you do that. I said I'd show you, remember the head that I was shrinking, and let me get these guys over here, and I got it down to this size, which I have already painted because I'm going to be putting that on a 6-inch body. And then I made a smaller one, which that was the one that I showed you at the beginning of the video. I've since gotten it finished, pulled it out, and painted it. And let me get that down there so you can see. We went from being the 9 or 8-inch scale down to about a 6-inch scale, down to about a 5-inch scale. There's a chance you could make it a little smaller without it being a big deal. And yeah, so I figured the last thing I'd do is I'd show you back from a while back. I got the Candyman figure, which was played by Tony Todd, who also had played Jake Sisko in an episode of Deep Space Nine, and I wanted to make that figure, so I took and I got his head, and I had to actually shrink it down because I wasn't doing the 1/3. Wasn't doing the half mix. I was doing the 1/3 mix, and so it took me a little bit. I had to do a couple of extra steps there to get it down to the right size. But now I've got it, and that is how you can shrink or grow. In some cases, you can grow these. You can shrink those. You can shrink them and grow them, and you can grow them and shrink them and mess up all the details completely, and they'll look fuzzy and not make any sense to anybody. So that is going to be it for this series of videos. I hope that it's been educational and you've enjoyed it, and maybe learn something, and you can go out and try and do it on your own. So yeah, that is shrinking, growing, shrinking. I have no idea. It's whatever your girlfriend tells you it is. I'll see you next time.
If you enjoy my videos and want to see more, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Also, you can support the show by signing up on Patreon, or head over to Zazzle to pick up prints of my artwork, prints on canvas, t-shirts, and other merch. You can find me on social media. For more information and updates on the channel, all info is below. If you didn't enjoy the video, why are you still here? Do you want a song? Ba, ba, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, them, 3 bags full. One for the master who can screw himself. You can listen to somebody else.